Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome to It's Still Real to Me. I'm your host, John Kucher, aka Johnny Fashion. With me, as always, the greatest man to ever live, Mr. Harmon 316 himself. Big Bad Harmon, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on?
You like that intro? I just give you a dynamite intro. That was a great intro.
You did. It was very, very Austin Aries. Thanks.
Yes, the greatest man to ever live. I want to see you in a pair of those shiny shorts, man. That'd be straight up whack.
Can I wear a cape? Can I wear a cape?
Yeah, absolutely. You can wear whatever you want, bud. That's amazing. You can do whatever you want, buddy. Sounds great.
Oh, I am rocking a porn stash. Don't you worry about it.
Are you still rocking that porn stash?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that was disgusting.
Oh, it's hideous.
It's hideous. Yeah. That picture you sent me was whoa. Ugh, can't believe I kept my lunch down. That was, I think my response was, well, that's interesting. Like it was not a pretty sight.
Yeah,
so.
You said that's interesting, and I said, fuck you.
I like our friendship. Oh man. All right. What are we doing tonight? We've got, we're going to go over some recent news, some Brock stuff, some GMs for the show stuff. A big new division in Raw kind of announcement. And then we're going to go into the draft a little bit. We're going to talk about the draft that happened on SmackDown Live the other night. Super pumped about that. It was a blast. I liked it. And then we're going to dive into Battleground Preview and predictions. Battleground. We're going to get right into Battleground Preview and predictions, run down the card, tell you what we think it's going to happen, tell you what should happen, tell you what probably won't happen. So, well, before we get into that, let's get into some plugs.
Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Shipyard.
Is it?
Session IPA. It's delicious.
Oh, it's not an official sponsor. It sounds great. I got to try one. I got to try one of those. Shipyard. The official brew of Maine, it seems like. Man, I love Shipyard. Yes. Let's see, guys. Getting us some plugs. You guys, fans of the show, check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, TuneIn Radio, or simply just go to smarkandmark.com and you're going to find us right there. All you got to do is search ISR2M podcast for the iTunes, the Stitcher, the Podbean, the TuneIn Radio, all that stuff. Search that and you're going to find us and you're going to listen to us and you're going to love us. It's going to be fantastic. All right. Recent news. Our good buddy Brock Lesnar. Oh, man. Coming off that dominant win at UFC 200. Gets busted for, I don't even know what, drugs. Did not pass the test, I guess. Some
kind of estrogen masking agent or whatever. You use it after you come off a cycle to kind of get your testosterone back in order, I guess.
Yeah, is that the deal?
And it's the same stuff that John Bones Jones, I guess, got pinched for.
Yeah, man. These guys, when are you gonna learn? Can't beat the system. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that, but Mark Hunt wants not half, but all of Brock's purse, pretty much, for the fight. And he had some choice words for Brock. I believe, to quote him, he said he still hits like a pussy, which I thought was interesting. He would know. He got hit a lot by him, so who knows? But I don't know.
Hits like a pussy, but punches like a sewing machine. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down.
Right? Yeah. So that's disheartening for Brock. I really wanted that UFC win to kind of hold up and really show that he's a pro wrestler, but he's still a badass motherfucker and can go into the UFC and dominate. Which, I mean, he did, but there's this dark cloud hanging over him. So we'll see how it affects him moving forward. What do you think? Any thoughts on that?
I think with that, being, him failing an out of competition and an in competition one, he probably won't be invited back, even though it was a big draw. But maybe, you know, they knew about it and said, fuck it, you know, this is UFC 200. We're here to make money, you know?
Yeah, maybe. And Dana shortly sold after, right? Dana, the UFC was bought and sold. So he, I don't know what, I mean, I think he's still involved though. Yeah, like the next day. He's still involved though, I think.
He's still going to be president, I guess.
Yeah. So I was going to say, like, maybe he didn't have much left, you know, interest, but, you know, he's still involved. So that doesn't really make sense.
I think it was more the Fertittas. The Fertittas are moving out of an ownership role and into like, you know, like a consultant role, I guess.
No, is that the deal? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, good for them. I don't know. I can't imagine that it would affect SummerSlam. I mean, unless it does, but I can't imagine that it does. I'm assuming he's still on board for SummerSlam. I mean, nobody's really said anything, so
they haven't said they were going to suspend him.
I mean, so
Fat Good it would do. I mean, he's not going to show up till SummerSlam anyway.
Right, and I guess they released some kind of statement, WWE did, about that he hasn't been active in so many days or whatever. So I guess there's some loophole of that. Like he doesn't have to get suspended because he hasn't been active. So I don't know the deal with it, but it sounded like WWE was going to kind of sweep it under the rug and he was going to definitely be there for SummerSlam. So no worries there. Him and Randy Orton going to town.
Interesting bit of Brock news today. Paul Heyman is without a contract. His contract expired.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. They'll sign him. They have to. He's Paul Heyman. Right?
You would think so.
Yeah, they got to. Especially with like this brand split and everything, and they got to. With SummerSlam coming up, they got to sign this guy. He's Paul Heyman. He's the best. Anyway, moving on. Mick Foley is named your Raw GM by Stephanie McMahon. Pretty awesome.
Everybody loves Mick.
Everybody loves Mick Foley. He was, I believe, like the first GM back in the day when they did like the brand split for Raw, and he did a pretty good job. He was, I loved him like backstage, like with the gavel and everything. He was great. He was really good. So that's pretty awesome.
He was commissioner though, wasn't he?
Oh, was he commissioner? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, commissioner.
Yeah,
Mick Foley. Yeah, that's what he
was.
Yeah,
shirt. He couldn't say commissioner all in like the front.
That's right. That's right.
The side of the shirt.
That's right. That's what it was. Commissioner. Yeah, that's great. And you know what's more awesome though than Mick Foley being the GM of Raw is Daniel Bryan to SmackDown. How amazing is that? I think we all like that leaked out, before the announcement, but it was still pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was still awesome even with the leak. Imagine if it hadn't been leaked, if it just came out and you heard the music. I mean, I would have popped like the crowd did. I would have just flown out of the couch. Great. I did that anyway, but I would have jumped like maybe an inch or two higher.
Yeah, I love Daniel Bryan, and just anytime you get to see him on TV is such a treat. And the fact that he's going to be working with Shane for SmackDown, it's going to be awesome. I mean, obviously they work together in the draft, and but moving forward, I can't wait to see what they have in store for SmackDown. I think Daniel Bryan's a really smart guy when it comes to, obviously, wrestling, but like I think backstage stuff, talent wise, just like putting a show together, producing a show, like I think he knows what he's doing. So I think it's going to be really fun to see him in action in a different role.
Same thing with Mick Foley. Mick Foley, he's been pretty vocal on Twitter about like the women's division and stuff.
Yeah.
And even during the draft, he was mentioning the SmackDown. There are women you can draft too, which bit him in the ass because then they drafted Becky Lynch. But
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I dig it.
Mick will start running the women's division a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Somebody's got to do something with it. And yeah, Mick's definitely a fan, so that'll be fun to see what direction he puts that women's division and just in Raw in general. And I want to see like how him and Steph kind of coexist. If Steph is more of a on-screen kind of character or less of an on-screen kind of character. I want to see how that kind of whole thing works. So I feel like Shane and Daniel Bryan will maybe be less on screen, but more, just making decisions. I don't know. It's going to be really fun to see what happens. I'm really excited about this brand split. A nice addition to Raw, another nice addition besides Mick Foley, is that it was announced that Raw is going to have a new division, and it's going to be a cruiserweight division. And I am so pumped about that. That brings back like nostalgic waves of Monday Nitro, the first hour of Monday Nitro, like when I was in high school. I can't wait. I hope they keep it. I hope they keep it the same. I hope they.
How great would it be?
Yeah, just like the first hour. It's just like
start
boom.
Right off with some hot wrestling.
Yeah, hot wrestling. Bring back Juventud and Psychosis. Go to town. I love it.
I've been saying this for a year, that they need to break Raw up into segments. So, like the first segment could be cruiserweights. The second segment could be mid-card, women and tag teams, or the last hour could be, upper mid-card and, the main event stuff, just,
yeah,
I don't know. Just so it's kind of appointment television, where you're going to get your stuff. Because right now that third hour is just killing everybody.
Yeah, it's really hard to sit through because the first, 40 minutes is the main event. They kick off with like a 40-minute promo, and it's usually prepping the main event of that night, and it has like the top stars. Seth Rollins comes out, John Cena, whoever, and they do this really long, exhausting promo, and then after that, they've got some mid-card stuff, and it's kind of all jumbled together, and then that final hour is just like, God, back to the main event, guys. And it's just hard to kind of endure every week because it's so much of the same format. It'd be really fun to really open up the night really hot with just like some crazy cruiserweights. And obviously they got the Cruiserweight Classic going on right now. So I'm imagining they're pulling, a ton of talent from that and then getting some guys that weren't in it as well. Maybe bringing back some of those guys that I mentioned. I mean, maybe not those exact guys like Juventud and Psychosis, but I'm saying like guys, a lot of like, Mexican luchadors that they can come in and just put on some really hot, fun matches. So that'd be really cool. I'm excited about that.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably not going to see any cruiserweights until after the tournament's over, but
right. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. I'm pumped though. I'm pumped for it. And I was really excited about this draft, man. Going into this draft, let's get into this draft a little bit. I was really excited about it. And I thought it delivered, man. I thought it was one of the more entertaining drafts just because it was like so it was like a draft. I mean, it was like the NFL, not as in-depth as the NFL draft, but it was like, usually these drafts are usually like the top 5 picks, and then there's a lot of matches, and then they kind of dick around. But this seemed like mostly just drafting people, and I thought it was really cool. And then there's matches in between a little bit, but mostly it was just drafting. I thought it was really, really interesting and cool. You have a kind of an interesting theory about how it may have turned real. I don't know about that, but it was like, it seemed to be very, it had hints of,
like after
the shoot.
Finn Balor pick, it seemed pretty much like a shoot, it was like, you could see like they were struggling with some of the picks sometimes. And then, Raw would draft somebody and you saw Shane like getting mad and like tear up papers. I mean, he's not that good of an actor. I think he was.
Yeah.
I think it could have been real stuff.
Yeah. And some of the, like you mentioned, I think while it was going on, like, I think you either texted me or we were talking about it or something. And you were saying that the NXT reactions like were very organic, and it could have just been that it was emotional, but it seemed like, when Alexa Bliss was drafted and like American Alpha, like they all seemed like surprised and just like really happy and emotional and, out of character. Like Alexa Bliss was definitely like out of character. You know what I mean? Like she had everybody coming over and like hugging her and stuff. And like, that's not her character. That's just like her real persona in real life, and she was just, I don't know. It was just a nice moment, I thought. So I think that they knew? Probably, but I think it's still emotional when you get that call, you know what I mean? And it's real and you're on live TV and your friends are there cheering you on. I think that was probably, why, or what was happening. But I have a hard time believing that anything in wrestling now on TV, even live TV, is a shoot. I just don't think Vince allows it. I think he really likes to have everything planned out. But another example was Cesaro. Cesaro seemed to get really heated. His interview, I thought, was great. I thought his interview was really, really good. He really addressed.
Yeah, he seemed genuinely annoyed that they were asking questions about the GMs and not the wrestlers.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad for JoJo because she's just being told what to say, for fuck's sake,
Oh, right.
Poor JoJo.
Ziggler joined the panel back, on the network, and he was, they kind of, did like a shoot thing on him. They only gave him 2 minutes to tell why he's, good and why people should care. And it was pretty good stuff. I mean, it wasn't great, but, it makes you feel for the guy, at least that he gives a shit about it, He's not one of those guys that's just there collecting a paycheck every week. He wants to be on TV,
Yeah. Yeah, I loved Cesaro when he said, when he was like, I stumble my words sometimes because I speak 5 languages. And I was like, oh, that's amazing that he addressed that. That's a very shoot thing to say. And then when he was like, but I speak, the language that everybody speaks, the language of wrestling, and I do my talking in the ring. And I was like, that's amazing. That's great. That was a really good little analogy kind of thing going on. I thought it was really great. I really liked his interview or speech. I thought it was great. Whose was terrible was Kalisto's. Oh, did you see Kalisto's? Oh, you haven't seen Kalisto's yet? Oh, no. Oh boy. Get ready to cringe your balls off, buddy. It's so bad. He just starts to lose it and he doesn't know what to say. And he basically says, because I've watched it a bunch of times now because it's so bad. He says something along the lines of I'm going to shock the world, which, the first thing I thought of was Shockmaster. First of all, news to anybody involved in wrestling, don't ever say I'm going to shock the world just because you're going to have the curse of the Shockmaster on your ass. It was the worst. He said, I'm here to shock the world, and I'm glad that Baron Corbin is here so I can get some revenge. Like I said, I'm here to shock the world, and I'm gonna do some good lucha things. And then he started to walk off camera, and you hear him go, "God damn it!" It's the best. It's the best. You have to look at it. It's amazing. It's so funny. It just reminded me of God damn it. It was awesome. And he just kind of freaks out and kind of runs off camera. And whoever the announcer was there, or the interviewer, which I didn't even know who it was, just kind of looked back at the camera awkwardly. It was Kalisto, former U.S. champion Kalisto, or whatever the fuck he says. But it was so funny. It was out of control. And it's funny, man. I kept getting texts from Gregulator and stuff saying "Hey man, what are you up to today? You gonna do some good lucha things?" It was awesome.
So many good lucha things.
So many good lucha things. See ya. God damn it. I felt at one point you really felt the severe drop off in this draft, more than usual. Even when we did our mock draft, you get to that point where oh God, who am I going to take? But WWE was they got to a point where they were drafting people really, really high. I felt you know what I mean? Well, let's see. I felt
Show?
The Big Show. That's a perfect one. The Big Show. When did the Big Show go? Big Show went Let's see. I have the list right here. Big Show. Where did he go? He went to Raw, right?
Yeah, he went.
Oh, Big Show right there. He went number 23. Does that sound about right? But that was still
23.
like
he went
pretty
round
high
5, number 23.
Yeah, he went before Neville. He went before Cesaro. For God's sakes.
Oh yeah. He went before Alberto Del Rio, Sheamus.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah,
I can't believe that. That's a bullshit pick.
Zack Ryder. He went before Breezango.
Yeah, that's a bullshit pick. I don't know what that was all about, but you could tell that like some of these like pairings were like, okay, well,
like I thought John Cena was picked way too high.
You thought Cena was picked too high.
Too high.
Too high, really?
He was round 2, pick number 7. I thought he could have been, round 3 or 4. I think.
John Cena, really?
I do.
Who would go before John Cena?
I would think, looking at the list, I would think Bray Wyatt.
No, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Bray Wyatt before John Cena? Maybe. Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I see your point with Owens, but I mean, the guy hasn't been champ, and Cena's been fucking 15-time champ. I don't know, man. Cena's a pretty big draw. I disagree with you on that one. I think Cena was probably drafted in the right spot, if not even not late. But I mean, I feel like you take Charlotte out of there. I thought Charlotte went really early. Number 3 overall.
The picks are so weird. Like you would think there'd be a little, tit for tat in the picking. Like, okay,
yeah.
Like kind of in the first round. Okay, we took Seth Rollins, so we're going to take the champion Dean Ambrose. Okay, well then it gets all fucked up. It says, Raw takes women's champion Charlotte, and then SmackDown doesn't pick a woman until the 3rd round with the 14th pick.
With Becky Lynch, yeah.
Yeah, you think they would, they
split it up kind of evenly.
They only have so many picks. They're getting a 3rd less picks than Raw. You think they would have picked a little more defensively.
Yeah, but I mean, AJ Styles though is a pretty big pick for them. I was really excited to see AJ go to SmackDown. I think he's going to be like the cornerstone of SmackDown. I mean, you get like you look at the guys on SmackDown. Ambrose, AJ, Cena, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt. Those are like your top guys. That's a pretty good cornerstone. I think that it's man. I mean, Raw definitely makes out in this draft. Like we all know it. Like Raw kind of mopped the floor with SmackDown. But I mean, they get more picks, so it's it's easy.
I read a couple of articles, and one of them had me convinced that no, I don't think Raw did mop up. I mean, if you think about it, look at the guys on their roster that are pretty much throwaways.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They have more picks.
Yeah, they had more picks, but I'm not sure exactly where they beat SmackDown.
Right, like the quality is like still the same. Like the quality of guys, I don't think is any better. They just have more people. So
right,
yeah, like I totally get what you're saying. Like,
I mean,
Big Show, Swagger, Henry.
Look at Raw's list of tag teams. They got the New Day, which is good, but then they got the Dudley Boys.
They get the Club.
They
get the Club too.
Cast, but that's pretty much it. I mean, they got the Shining Stars. That's
what do you think of?
That's about it.
Yeah, what do you think of some of these pairings and some of these splits? Like, for instance, they kept Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens on the same show.
Yeah, I would have split them up.
Which, yeah, that's what we've been saying all along. Split them up, break up this feud.
That's the kind of stuff that makes me think that this was a shoot draft after the 5th or 6th round.
I can't. I don't buy it. I mean, I see what you're saying. I definitely see it. I'm not seeing that. I'm just, I just, it's so hard to think that Vince would let that fly. I think that there are picks that definitely prove that it kind of wasn't. Like if you go, where is it? So like if you go, it's just hard to believe that like Natalya and Becky Lynch end up on the same show together, and like those are the women of SmackDown now, and like they just currently have a feud together. Like they clearly kept those gals together to finish out their feud. And, you know, the United States Championship goes to Raw, and the Intercontinental Championship goes to SmackDown, which I'm really excited about. And I know that like Daniel Bryan kind of had that all along.
But that was a reactionary pick, though. They took Rusev, and Daniel Bryan even said, "I hate to do it, but we're going to take the Miz," you know, because they needed the championship belt.
Yeah.
But like back when, round 2, the Raw takes, they got Seth Rollins, they got Charlotte, they got Finn Balor, they took Roman Reigns to start the second round.
Yep.
Raw took John Cena, then they took Brock Lesnar, and SmackDown's answer for Brock Lesnar was Randy Orton. I mean, I know they're coming up in a match, but
yeah, which obviously leads me to believe
for a whole month and a half, we're gonna have Randy and Brock exchange promos on different shows or what?
Yeah, like I didn't understand that either. Like, I don't get it, man. Yeah, there was definitely some weird choices.
1980s way where they just talk shit before a match and they go beat up the local enhancement talent.
It's fine with me. I'll do that. I think that's great. I like that. But yeah, I mean, it was just interesting the way things kind of shook down. Surprise.
Number 10, Raw takes New Day, and then SmackDown doesn't take a tag team.
They called up Alpha, right?
American Alpha in round 5.
Pretty awesome. I was thrilled to see them come up. So
yeah,
where that leaves their feud with the authors of Pain, but I don't know if they're just gonna drop that or what.
They lost that match on SmackDown on NXT this week.
Okay, I haven't watched NXT yet, so yeah.
Yeah, they did the favors. They got the
nice. Yeah, that's crazy. But
guys are huge.
And their reward is to get promoted. That always blows me away. I hate that. I hate the way the transition from NXT to the main roster is set up, because it has to end on a loss. I hate it.
Well, it's set up like the old territory days. When you left a territory, you went out on your back. You did the favor for somebody that was going to be there for a while.
Yeah. No, and I get that. Like within the business, that makes sense. But like as a fan watching it, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like it just doesn't make sense.
As a fan, it's hard to swallow them going out on a losing effort, and then they're going to come in on SmackDown next week and be the hottest thing going, and they're going to beat the crap out of whoever it is.
Yeah, because he got drafted.
They're going to beat.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mojo Rawley got drafted. Mojo,
number 57, right ahead of Curtis Axel.
Yep.
So Heath Slater was tweeting out all day that he might go to England. He's a free agent. He might go to a ball.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah,
that was a good way to end it. Heath Slater's such a baller. He's so good, man. He does whatever that company asks him to do. So good. He just does it with a smile.
Have you watched
Game
Night?
What Game Night is? What's Game Night?
WWE Game Night. Oh, they're great. You got to watch them. They're on the network.
Oh.
Or they're on YouTube.
Oh, are they? No, I haven't seen it yet.
But they have just stupid competitions like who can eat the most donut holes, and Renee Young was doing it. Renee Young did it, and Heath Slater did it, and then Cesaro went out there and just destroyed them all.
Really? Oh my God, that guy's intense.
Renee Young,
he's so good at everything.
Renee Young got like 9 donut holes in her mouth, and Cesaro got like 14.
Nice.
Like, what?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You had to be able to put them in your mouth and speak.
Yeah.
And then they did ones like dizzy bat races and stuff. I mean, and Curtis Axel pretty much hosts that show, but it's hilarious.
That's awesome. I'll have to check it out. So SmackDown looks pretty tag team heavy. Like, I really like. I hope they bring or like add value to the tag teams again. I mean, they've got the Vaudevillains. They've got Mojo and Zack Ryder if they want to team them up again. I know Ryder's going.
American Alpha.
Yeah.
Breezango.
Yeah, man. They're stacked in the tag team division. I'm excited to see that. Oh yeah, the Ascension. Yep. Maybe those guys, can get a push or something. I don't know, man. I think it's great. I think SmackDown did pretty well. But it's hard to argue there with Seth Rollins being like, the man on the flagship show. And then, Reigns will come back and they'll do something. And then Finn Balor gets drafted to Raw, which I like that Finn is going to get called up, obviously, and going Raw. But man, I really wanted it to be a surprise. Like, I always want for Finn for it to just be a surprise pop, and now like people know, like people are like, okay, well, he's drafted on Raw, like, and he'll probably just show up like on Raw in, the Fonz kind of get up with the leather jacket. But I really wanted his debut to be, a surprise, like run in or something with a demon, but I don't know. Can't get it. Can't get everything you want, I guess.
Yeah.
But Rusev, they've got Rusev. That's good for them. He's great. How about Nia Jax getting called up? Let's talk about NXT call-up since we just mentioned Finn. So we got Finn.
You know what? I like it. She's
Alpha.
I mean, she's only been on TV on NXT for not even a whole year yet. She debuted, I think, in October last year. So she hasn't even been a whole year yet, and she's already made the jump. So
right.
I mean, that's how confident.
Yeah, I think she's good.
Yeah, she had a pretty good match with Bayley last week. She did a really strong looking jackhammer, like the old Goldberg jackhammer. But
Goldberg
killed Bayley doing it. But
they should chant Goldberg when she comes out, just like the crowd used to with Ryback. Oh my God, how come Ryback didn't get drafted?
Because he's going to be, writing motivational books or something.
He's going to be wrestling in TNA pretty soon. Oh, man. Anything else going on? Oh, you know what else I wanted to mention about this draft? How about Braun Strowman? Huh?
Yeah, not getting drafted with the other members of the Wyatt family.
Exactly. What's that about?
Familiar.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. Where did Harper go? Did Harper go to SmackDown?
Harper didn't get drafted.
Oh, he didn't get drafted, right? So maybe.
Right. Same thing with like Emma. Emma didn't get drafted either.
Yeah, just too hurt. That's too bad.
Yeah,
I don't like that. Yeah, so that's weird. Maybe Harper will go to Raw and join Strowman, and like the Wyatt family will get to like terrorize both. Like both brands. So how about that creepy Eric Rowan video?
Oh my God. Yeah.
How fucked up is that? Eric Rowan killed a man, ladies and gentlemen. That's crazy.
That
like
quickly. That's a creepy
video. I doubt he killed him with a trident. Probably more like a shovel. But holy cow. That's not PG, I don't think. Like, that's pretty intense, man. That's pretty dark, like, for WWE nowadays. I thought. I mean, it was clearly a body. That was nuts. So, and good for Eric Rowan. Get some exposure, man. It was good. So it's gonna be him and Bray.
He's gonna be the healer for Bray now. I mean, with
he's gonna up
with Braun Strowman on the other brand and Luke Harper's on around, they got to start making Eric Rowan look like he's more than just a redheaded douchebag in coveralls.
Yeah, we got to make Rowan look strong. Make a meme of CM Punk saying "Make Rowan look strong" instead of Roman look strong.
Yes.
That's going to be the best.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to make Rowan look strong. Therefore, making Bray look strong. Man, I think Bray's going to have an interesting role on SmackDown. I mean, he's one of the top guys there. He doesn't have anything else to like kind of cloud his way into the main event picture. He's got to be right there.
Yeah, because it's
interesting.
I mean, it's pretty. I mean, you've got half as many guys now. I mean, you had 59 people drafted. And so he doesn't have to fight with anybody at the top anymore, really.
No.
He should be right up there with, John Cena and AJ Styles and Randy Orton. He just should be Baron Corbin. Maybe Baron Corbin can get incorporated somehow into Bray's world.
I would love that. Yeah, Corbin's on there.
Jericho's on
this. Raw. Yeah, where did he go? Did he go Raw?
Yeah, he went to Raw.
Yeah, he's on Raw. Yeah.
I mean, you got The Miz. The Miz has got the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe Bray screws with him. Dolph Ziggler is there. I mean,
dude, it is wide open. Yeah, man, Alberto it's wide open.
Rio, they can mess with him.
I love it. I love Del Rio right now. He's like, and I've never been a Del Rio guy, but man, I could go for a little Del Rio repackage. I'd love it. I'd love a little Del Rio repackage there. Him and
Kane can be messed with,
Real quick, they've split up a couple of duos here, as you know. Speaking of Del Rio, right? Am I wrong? Del Rio and Paige are on opposite sides. Is that what's going on?
Paige is on Raw.
Yeah. Paige is on Raw. Del Rio's on SmackDown. That's gonna mess up the old travel booty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be deprived out on the road. Cass and Carmella. It's another one. Enzo and Cass.
Carmella had mentioned she wanted to be on the opposite brand of them because she doesn't want to just be their hype girl anymore, and she's done a pretty good job of branching away down in NXT since the guys got called up.
Yeah, I was gonna say she hasn't really played that role in a while.
Yeah, I mean she's more Long Island Princess, less Enzo Cass hype girl.
Yeah, but I mean it's essentially like the same gimmick, though. I mean she does almost the exact same kind of in-ring entrance, whatever shtick that Enzo tries to do, or that Enzo does. So it's
right.
It is what it is, man. I'm not like totally bummed about it. I hope that she can definitely work. So I think it'll be nice for her to kind of branch out on her own and show her skills as a singles competitor and less of a valet. But I'd like to see them reunite at some point because I think that she is pretty.
There was another relationship that was broken up.
Is that?
And not a lot of people realized it, but they tweeted about it today. Tyler Breeze and what the hell's his name? Xavier Woods.
God.
They are BFFs on Up, Down, Down. And,
are they? Nice.
They are now being sent to separate brands. So
so they're not going to get to play video games online anymore?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Yep. And that sounded really sarcastic when I just said it, but I really actually do mean that. I think that they're funny together. They're both really funny.
So rip Breezy and Xavier. Sorry.
Rip. Real quick, I want to give some shout outs because we've got a couple live viewers right now. We've got Gregulator is listening in live. Our semi-regular Gregulator. Hi, Greg.
Semi-regular Greg.
And then we also have our good buddy Graham Norton is also listening live to the podcast right now. So Grambo. Hey guys, thanks, Grambos. Thanks for listening. You guys are the best. We have the best. We have the best podcast fans around. If that's a thing to say, it is because I just said it. No, you guys are great. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Apparently they're like live chatting, and I don't know how to really read it, but we'll figure it out later. I don't know. But hey, all right. Anything else on this draft? Because I'm just about done with it. I'm good with the draft.
No, I'm good with the draft.
All right. Let's get right into Battleground previews and predictions. I am actually kind of excited about this pay-per-view. I think it's been built up pretty good. I've seen worse. I've seen a lot worse, actually. And it's kind of surprising with everything that's going on right now that this card is actually built up pretty good, like with the Cruiserweight Classic going on, the draft, like all this stuff. Lesnar, there's all this other minutia going around. They've done a pretty good job of like hyping this card. All the matches, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I remember like the builds for that, and that was memorable and a good build. So how do you feel about this? Are you excited for this pay-per-view or what?
I have already forgotten about this pay-per-view.
we are on two different wavelengths. Oh, that's funny. I like it. Hopefully it's not a pile of crap. So let's go up the card here. Let's start right at the bottom. Not at the bottom, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. We have Sasha Banks and a mystery partner versus Charlotte and Dana Brooke in a tag match. So Charlotte not defending the belt, which is always discouraging to me. I mean, I guess the titles don't have to be defended every pay-per-view because they've got enough pay-per-views to go around. But it always bothers me when it's like, well, this is kind of like a Monday Night Raw match. Like this is a tag team match. Like the belt should be defended. But I'm fine with it because it sounds like they're going to bring in somebody pretty big to tag with Sasha.
Pretty big is my pick for her partner. It's going to be Nia Jax.
You think Nia Jax?
Yeah. I think Nia Jax wants to insert herself right into that title scene. I think.
Well, yeah, but does she really pair up well with like? I mean, she's a bad guy. Sasha Banks is a good guy. I don't know if that's gonna work. I think it might be Bayley. I find it extremely
Sasha Banks
crazy.
Sasha Banks was a bad guy when she came up too, right?
Yeah, I guess, right? Yeah.
I mean,
yes, because she was just coming off like the matches against Bayley. So yeah.
People that don't watch NXT, they don't know what she is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I love that. I'd be surprised if it was, but I respect your guess.
I think it might be Graham who's asking about CTE and the effect of the sport on wrestlers. Is this John Howell's CTE affect future of the sport, giving class action lawsuit by former wrestlers? Graham, I would direct you back to our Daniel Bryan retirement podcast. We talked with Ray Lloyd Glacier from WCW about head injuries and CTE and how I asked him if he planned on donating his brain. So if you go back in the archives and find the Daniel Bryan retirement podcast, and we talk all about that for quite a while. We talked about concussions and mouth guards and all kinds of stuff, what guys should be using to help cut down their concussions.
Good answer. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I just got a text, but I'm assuming that's from Graham as well. So, yeah, I don't know how to really see the comments on our live tweets or our live whatever YouTube comments, but yeah, well done, Harmon. Good answer. That was a fun episode that we did with Ray. Let's see what else. I'm gonna go with Bayley as her pick. I think that Bayley not getting drafted kind of just shocked everybody. And I think that was the reason for it, is that she's going to be a surprise, partner for Sasha. It's almost guaranteed.
Sasha cut a video though, saying she didn't want Bayley as a partner.
Really?
Saying something about Bayley was the referee in a match once and Bayley screwed it up and Sasha lost. So she's like, no, I don't want Bayley. She's too clumsy in the ring and blah, 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 blah.
Huh. Interesting. I just I mean, maybe it would be Nia Jax. I don't know, man. I'd have a hard time buying that from a fan's perspective. And I get like your point. Like, okay, like some people don't watch NXT, but like you fucking should. Like, you know what I mean? Like you should.
But from the perspective of Vince McMahon, they're both black.
Oh, you are the worst. You're the worst kind of person. Yeah, that is how Vince thinks, I think. He's going to start
tans.
I wonder how many times Vince McMahon has called Sasha Banks Sheldon.
Sheldon?
Excellent point, Sheldon. Did you ever hear that story?
Did Sheldon, like Shelton, you mean? Like
Shelton Benjamin? Yeah.
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 Yeah, that was on Colt's podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was it's a pretty common story about Michael Tarver like asking a question and and Vince just doesn't know who it is and he just thinks that it's Sheldon Benjamin. So I don't know.
See, and here we get on JBL every week for not knowing who he's talking to.
Oh, I know, JBL. Yep. What a dick. what a crazy person. Oh, there's some news too for you. I guess the commentators are getting switched up. Corey Graves gets the bump up to the main roster, so that's good. So it's going to be I can't remember how it's going to lay out. I think it's Cole,
Saxton, and Graves.
Yeah, there you go. And then Ronaldo, JBL,
and
somebody else.
Otunga.
Oh yeah, Otunga. Yeah, holy moly! Putting the coffee down. Gonna get out there.
The coffee down. Gonna stop. Reading briefs.
Nice. Yeah. So anyway, besides who the mystery guest is going to be, who do you think takes this match, this tag match?
I think Sasha's team will win. I think it's about time that Charlotte started getting some losses in here to kind of break up her run, because she's going to be, not too much longer. She'll be breaking Nikki's record for longest, women's champion.
Yeah, she's had that thing for a while. I think she drops it pretty soon, though. I think Sasha takes it from her.
SummerSlam, probably.
SummerSlam. That's what I'm assuming. So I think Sasha's just too over. She's been chomping at the bit here for a while for the belt, and the fans really want her to have it. And so I think she's going to win this at SummerSlam. But I think she'll take this match. Her and her mystery partner here will win this, get some momentum. Whoever the mystery partner is can't just come in and lose. So I think that's another reason why they win. So moving on, we've got New Day versus the Wyatt family in a 6-man tag team match. Man, the build to this has been pretty good too. They had the night at the compound. They've been going at each other. I think the dynamic between the two teams are very fun. The Wyatts have kept up with like their scary creepiness kind of thing. I really didn't want them to kind of just become like a parody of themselves, with New Day being so like goofy and funny, but they've done pretty well to kind of stay true to what they are. Bray does a pretty good job interacting with Xavier. Xavier does an amazing job acting scared and almost possessed at times, where
scared and like confused, and he's been pretty good. Their match on, was it SmackDown? Yeah, it was SmackDown when they had their match, and like Bray got him all the way like close to him, like put his hand on his shoulder, and then Xavier kind of snapped out of it.
Yeah. I think that the Wyatts take this one. That being that it's a 6-man tag and that it's not, for the belts or anything. I think the Wyatts need a little bit of steam here. It makes them look stronger, after this feud that, hey, we just beat the tag team champs. Moving on, like they're both going to like their separate shows, or at least, Bray and right. Rowan are going opposite. So, I don't know. It's one of those things that because of the brand split, it doesn't really matter because it's not going to continue afterwards. But I still think that Bray needs to win this more than anybody, in this whole 6-man thing here. What do you think?
Yes.
I
think the Wyatts need to win all the time.
Well, yeah, and they don't. I mean, and the fact that I just said all that is highly unlikely that they actually win because they just never do, which is too bad. So I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Last time they won a pay-per-view,
a meaningful match,
pay-per-view feud. When did they win one?
I can't remember. It's been and when they do, it doesn't really mean anything. It's like
Ryback last year.
That's exactly who I was thinking of. It was like, yeah, like Bray beats Ryback in a match that doesn't mean shit. So, I don't know. I'm gonna go Wyatt's, I guess. So, Rusev defending the United States Championship versus your homeboy Zack Ryder. What do you got? Tell me. Bring it.
I'm gonna go with the Long Island Ice Z.
Really? You think You think Ryder takes the belt off of Rusev?
Sure do, and then he loses it on Raw.
Yeah, he's the classic one night champion.
No, that can't happen because he's on SmackDown.
He's on SmackDown, yeah. So, yeah, I think Rusev retains, no doubt about it. I don't think Ryder's going to SmackDown with the U.S. belt. I mean, unless they want to do a switcheroo, which I think would be kind of cool and creative. Like if they want to work both of these matches where Ryder wins the U.S. belt and brings it to SmackDown, loses to Darren Young, and Darren Young brings the IC belt to Raw, and they do a little switcheroo. That'd be kind of cool. I'd be behind that, but I don't see Darren Young being an Intercontinental Champion in this lifetime, no matter how great Bob Backlund makes him. So, but anyway, Rusev, Zack Ryder. I'm going to say Rusev retains. You're going Ryder?
I'm going to go with Ryder. Maybe Ryder wins until SummerSlam and then loses it.
Oh, wow. Bold prediction. Miz versus Darren Young. The Miz with Maurice and Darren Young with Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund's a maniac.
Foxy.
How crazy is Bob Backlund? I don't even know what he was saying at the draft.
I think Bob Backlund wins this match.
Yeah, I think we all win this match just to see Bob Backlund. Backlund's crazy. I can't remember what he said to Darren Young at the draft, but I remember it being amazing. It was like you have to make something like a daily routine of attaining a level of barbarianism. It was something along those lines, and it was just like it was kind of like Genius and Crazy Person all in one, and it was amazing, and I loved it. Backlund has definitely been a nice addition to the program since he came back. Sorry, Dustin, son. I know Dustin hates Bob Backlund for beating Bret Hart years ago when he shouldn't have. But
you can't hate Crazy. Come on.
Crazy's awesome. Oh, man. I'm going to say that The Miz retains this, as much as that pains me to say, because I hate The Miz. As much as I hate The Miz, I just don't care about Darren Young as much as I hate The Miz. I don't dislike Darren Young. I just don't care about him.
Darren Young either. But I want Darren Young to win this because I want to see him try to give hugs to Bob Backlund again. The other day when he won that match, he tried to give Bob Backlund a hug, and I've never seen a man like duck under and run away so fast.
Yeah. They're so awkward. Backlund tried to like high five Titus the other day at the draft. Titus was like, man, his timing, like, it's just the worst. It was just such an awkward high five. But anyway, moving on, we've got Becky Lynch versus Natalya in a singles match. Man, this is a heated grudge match. Like, this doesn't need a title right now. This doesn't need anything. This is just I think both of these gals have turned it on really well for this match. They've made it like mean something. Like, usually the second match besides the title match, women's match, is like, it's kind of like a throwaway. It's it's not to discredit the gals' talents. It's just that, like, they never do a good job of building it. It's always like randomly like Naomi versus Paige, like for no reason at all. And that's like your second women's match of the night, and it doesn't mean anything. But this is just straight up grudge match between Becky Lynch and Natalya, and they've done an awesome job of building it. They just keep, interfering in each other's matches or like just attacking each other.
One of them was going to have a match against Foxy the other day, and when they came back from break, we had no idea what was going on except that Becky Lynch was beating the shit out of Natalya.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome, man. They've both been really aggressive.
Oh man, we're right in the middle of a melee. We were like, nice.
Yeah, they've both been really aggressive.
Becky Lynch is just crushed. I think everybody that she's made friends with up here so far has left her.
Yeah, I know.
Betrayed her.
Yeah.
So I think she really needs to just let some of that rage and aggression out.
Yeah, they got to work that into like some of her character, and like make that part of her character and just be like, she's just on her own now, and she just doesn't care, and she's just like T-bone suplexing gals left and right. Yeah, that's all I want to see from Becky Lynch.
Yeah,
she's
I want to see her. I want to see her, cut a promo. Oh, it's kind of late now, but I wish she'd cut a promo where she was crying about everybody, backstabbing her and stuff, and then just get angry at the end and say, "Never gonna happen again." I'm gonna tear Natalya apart. So
yeah, something like that.
She'd gotten hurt and mean.
I would have really appreciated it if you would have done that in an Irish accent, actually, but that's okay. I think Becky Lynch is amazing. She's probably one of my favorite, not even just like wrestlers right now, or not just female wrestlers, but she's just like one of my favorite wrestlers right now. She's just really good, like all around. She can do it all. Like she can, like her submissions are so friggin' tight. Her suplexes are badass. Her kicks are good. Like she can sell really well.
Yeah.
I mean, she can talk too. I mean, she's not like blowing you away with dynamite promos, but she says what needs to be said, and then it's awesome. It's great. So I think she's great. I think Becky Lynch maybe wins this. I don't know. It's kind of like one of those things where I don't think it necessarily has to have a definitive winner or loser. I think that this feud will probably continue on. So I think Becky Lynch wins, and then Natalya can kind of still antagonize Becky Lynch moving forward. Because they're on the same show. They're, so they're going to obviously continue this feud.
I think one of these girls is going to bleed.
Oh, wow. That's dark. Look at you. You're a maniac. You think Vince is going to let that happen?
Well, he didn't let it happen, but it happened at WrestleMania where Becky Lynch got cut at Mania and she bled.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe. That's it's interesting. I will see if that happens.
This match needs some juice.
Yeah, the build has been so intense. It's got to pay off, right? It has to. The match has to be intense.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
and I like that it's just a singles match. Like usually, like WWE gets carried away and they're like a no holds barred match or like a no DQ match. Like I don't think it needs any of that. I think these gals are just gonna go in there and pound each other. It's great. It's gonna be awesome. I think this is gonna be. This could be like match of the night. This could be like the dark horse in that race of match of the night. I think it's gonna be that good. Both of these gals can really work. I mean, Natalya's been, one of their females like best workers for years and just like never really getting the credit. Does everything the company asks her to, like literally one of the best in the ring ever. And you team her up here with you partner up with against Becky Lynch, and it's going to be a really great match. So we'll see what happens. I like it though. Let's see. Moving on.
The John Cena with Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the Club.
The Club.
AJ Styles, Luke Gallows. And my favorite member of this whole club is Carl Anderson.
Yeah. Yeah.
How good is that guy?
He's so good. He's so good. He's another guy, man. Just so good in the ring. Some cool moves, like really different moves. And the guy can talk too. When he gets the chance to get the mic, like he can talk.
I just want to hear him talk about his hot Asian wife.
Yeah, I know, and they're funny too. Like they're really just amusing. Luke Gallows' voice doesn't match his body. That's one thing that I take away from this. He has like such a. I expect
that he's only like 30.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, but I mean, like he's just. I don't know. He looks like he should have a really deep, manly voice, and he doesn't, like at all. I just think it's hilarious every time he talks. I like this match because it's not John Cena versus AJ, even though that's a great match. But I like that it's a 6-man tag match. It's a slow build for this feud, and then after this. They're kind of like all over the place. Like Cena and AJ are going to SmackDown, and Cass, Enzo, and the club, they're going to Raw. So like they can kind of continue these feuds separately on 2 shows. So I like it. I like it a lot. AJ and Gallows and Anderson splitting up surprises me. I thought they'd keep them together. With the 2 shows, but I don't know. They obviously have something planned for them. I'm gonna go with.
No, I wasn't kidding. Luke Gallows is 33.
He's 33. Okay.
Yeah, he looks like he's 45.
Yeah. Well, he's been wrestling like forever too, so that's why he kind of seems older. I am going to pick. I don't know. I think I'll go probably Cena, Enzo, and Cass on here. And unfortunately, I think like either Gallows or Anderson takes the pin. Probably Gallows. And I don't know. Probably Anderson, actually. Anderson probably takes the fall. I don't think that AJ gets pinned. Hell no. AJ definitely doesn't get pinned. I think Anderson gets pinned. I think Anderson takes the fall. And I think it's like after an attitude adjustment or something. So what do you think?
I'm going to flip it. I'm going to say Enzo takes the fall.
Yeah, all right.
The club wins. They're going to have to do something to neutralize Big Cass, and they got to kill Big Match John so that he doesn't come out of nowhere and no-sell somebody's stump.
Big Match John. That guy. Yeah, that's gonna be. Yeah, that's the thing, man. With like a 6-man tag, it's hard to kind of plant everybody and get that pin. So, especially with a monster in there like Cass, that guy's just bound for greatness, man.
They kind of planted the seeds the other day, where Enzo missed on a clothesline, or was it a diving clothesline? He missed and he ended up hitting Cena instead. Like they're not really a cohesive unit.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Where the other 3 guys have been together for, a couple of years, traveling all around Japan, and
right. Yeah, that makes sense. I could buy that. I don't think that it's like. What would be fun to see is like Enzo and Cena wrap off. That'd be fun. I'd like to see that. No?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Cena he's just so fun dad out there. Like he doesn't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, he gets really amped.
What is he saying?
Yeah, he's like he does a lot of pointing. He does a lot of like fun pointing to Enzo and Cass, like when they come out, like when they like kind of save them. They're like, he's like, yeah, just like pointing, and like he just looks like he's happy to be part of like something that's so over right now because he hasn't had that in a really long time. Like the crowd's been very split on him.
Like fans were cheering him because he's with Enzo and Cass.
Yeah, like, right.
They're giving him the rub. It's like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Oh man. All right, moving on. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Look at this, just a regular singles match. Little feud going on here. I think this build's been pretty weak actually between these two. It hasn't been as heated as it usually has. They had like that a couple episodes of Raw ago. We had that what was it? Remember like that weird match where it was like USA versus like every place else that wasn't USA, and like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were like on the same team. It was just like, okay, why aren't they beating the shit out of each other right now? Like, you know what I mean? So like stuff like that, when they do it, it kind of weakens the feud for me.
All they'll have to do is show the ladder matches that they've done this year and show how many times Sami Zayn has left Kevin Owens folded up dead. And Kevin Owens wants revenge, and I'm sold. Because
oh yeah, this match is still going to be amazing. I'm not like not excited to see it. It's just like I'm just like like because I could watch this match every week. You know, they're going to do different things, and the match itself is going to be crazy. I just feel like the build itself has been a little weaker than it has in the past. Like I think their NXT build was obviously the best, and then Sami Zayn coming into the Royal Rumble, setting up their like main roster feud is pretty good, and then like the ladder matches like you mentioned were really great. And this one is just kind of like it would have been a nice send off, like how we kind of all wanted it to be, and send them to two different rosters and then reunite them like a year later to have a feud. But they're both going to be on the same roster now, so I don't know where that leaves them. To just kind of continue this tired feud. I hope that it doesn't become a tired feud and that, they just burn out. And then people are like, oh shit, like, okay, these guys are still feuding. Like, what the fuck? Like, let's, I want to see Sami Zayn wrestle somebody else now. But I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch. The match is going to be great.
One day when Sami Zayn comes out to save Kevin Owens or something, he's like, dude, I still remember going to your wedding, and they make up and they become a tag team and start kicking ass. I mean, one day it'll happen.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, no, I think it would. I think it'll happen someday. You and I have spoken about that before. I think it's a great idea. The crowd is going to pop big time when that does happen. And it might be 5 years down the road for all we know, but it'll happen. It'll happen someday. That's what pro wrestling does, man. All interweaving, all connections. It's the best. It's going to be awesome. Nobody's a good guy forever. Nobody's a bad guy forever. That's the beauty of pro wrestling. I love it. I'm going to pick... I think Sami Zayn gets this win over Kevin Owens. I think Sami Zayn is... like, even though you said Sami Zayn's left Kevin Owens like a heap on ladders, he's never really gotten like a true, like, great cap-off victory to like put Kevin Owens out. Like I've seen Kevin Owens absolutely destroy Sami Zayn and like leave him for dead. So I think Sami Zayn gets a little redemption here when you compare it to all the times that Kevin Owens has destroyed Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn gets this win and puts a beat down on KO. What about you? Who do you think takes it?
Obviously, I think Kevin Owens is going to win.
Obviously, I shouldn't even ask anymore.
I think Sami Zayn has looked, has been standing tall over Kevin Owens for too many pay-per-views now, and I think it's finally time for Kevin Owens to get one.
You think so? Yeah. Okay, all right.
I mean, because really, like WrestleMania and then Money in the Bank, Sami Zayn killed Kevin Owens, like folded him up like a card table.
Yeah, but he didn't win though. That's the thing. Like he didn't he didn't win the match.
He looked. He was the one standing over. I mean, Kevin Owens finished those matches like on his face. He didn't move after those.
Yeah, we all thought he was dead at WrestleMania because he wasn't like tweeting for like 2 days. And we're like, oh god, is he dead?
I think I sent you a tweet going, have you heard anything from Kevin Owens?
Like he's our friend, like he talks to us. Hey, have you heard from Kevin lately? No, man, I'm really worried about Kevin. Oh, it's the best. Man.
The good news is that he follows me on Twitter now, and so does Tyler.
He does. You lucky son of a bitch. You're the man. You are the Twitter king. KO, Tyler Breeze. You got it going on.
That's about it.
Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah. Dana Brooke replies to you all the time, though. You and Dana, you guys are tight.
We are tight.
Yeah. All right, man. Main event time. Oof.
Speaking
Dean Ambrose.
Guys used to be
Dean Ambrose, the champ, defending against Seth Rollins and the returning Roman Reigns. This guy's still in the title picture.
Day of his suspension.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Yeah.
That suspension went quick. Well, it was only 30-day, I guess, So, so Roman Reigns coming back. I think this is going to be a great match. This is a match that I think I've said it before on this podcast. This is a match that you sell SummerSlam on. So, to me, I think this match goes one or two ways. I think it's either this is the payoff match, and this match is absolutely bonkers and awesome, or something fishy happens in this match, and it's not what we think at all. Like there's interference, and it ends kind of dusty, and it kind of drags it out to SummerSlam, even though Dean is going to be on a different show. To my understanding, SummerSlam is going to be a joint pay-per-view. It's going to have SmackDown and Raw. So I think they could kind of work that and have this match at SummerSlam, because this is a match that if you put this on as the main event at SummerSlam, this sells SummerSlam, especially if this match kind of ends oddly here and you don't kind of get what is advertised, if it kind of ends dusty. Like if you really, really want to see a Shield match, triple threat. So, and if we don't get it here, then I think that's the SummerSlam match. But if we do get it here, I think that Ambrose will retain. I think it would be a complete cop-out if he loses here and then Rollins takes the belt to Raw. I think that's a little much, considering that Raw, all the things that Raw has kind of going for it. Like it has Rollins, it has Reigns, has Brock, it has this cruiserweight division now. It has a third more of the wrestlers on the roster. I think it has a lot already going for it. I don't think that it necessarily needs SmackDown. I think SmackDown, because it's new, it's going to need some kind of prestige, and I think that keeping the heavyweight championship on SmackDown would be a good thing. And I think Ambrose carries it pretty well. I like that he can just turn it on when he needs to be serious. So, who do you got taking this triple threat matchup?
I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins.
Okay. Yep.
I think he's gonna get his revenge for Dean Ambrose cashing in on him. I mean, I know it's a short title reign for Dean Ambrose, but I think they're gonna want that belt back on Raw. You've got guys already there, at the top that have been in the program for the championship. And I don't know. It's kind of going to be in a bad spot afterwards, I think, though, because you've had these three guys have been at the top for a while, and the company's kind of gone down, down, down with these three guys at the top. As good as they are, for whatever reason, they're not getting people to watch all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping for a mix-up at the top, and hopefully this draft gives us that. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that they can mix it up, but then kind of reunite them at SummerSlam, because I don't think Ambrose is just going to come out all the time and start complaining about, Seth and Roman who are on another show. I think, in the meantime, Ambrose can feud with other guys that are on SmackDown. But then, start to really gradually, build towards SummerSlam against Reigns and Rollins. So, he can, I don't know. I'm looking at the rosters. I'm trying to see who else Ambrose can feud with. I think Rollins and Reigns obviously feud with each other still. I think that just makes sense, just coming off this match. But I mean,
yep.
Let's see, who else could Ambrose go with? He's already had a run-in with Bray a couple years ago that kind of fizzled. Maybe Randy. If Brock's not ready to go, Randy would be a good choice. Randy and Ambrose. I don't know. I'm just looking at the guys. I think even a guy like Corbin. Corbin's up there. He could give Ambrose a run for his money. I don't know. I think that there's definitely like viable opponents for Ambrose as world champ. And then if he does drop the belt, maybe just has some really good feuds. So, but he's my pick for this match. I think Ambrose hangs on to it here at Battleground. On a whole,
I think whoever wins, I think Roman takes the fall.
Yeah, I think that's definitely punishment as like, hey, get your shit together. You're going to be the guy losing this match. So I would be okay with that. Yeah, if Ambrose has to lose this match, I'd be fine with that, like him not actually losing. And maybe that's it. Maybe he doesn't actually get pinned. Roman gets pinned, and that's Ambrose's gripe. Like, I never lost the belt. Like, I didn't get pinned, so I should be in the match at SummerSlam. I don't know. That makes sense to me. But we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to this match big time. As a whole, again, like I said at the beginning of this, I think this card will be pretty good, given everything else that's going on. I'm excited for it. Are you still not excited for it after talking about it?
It seems like it should be a pretty good card, but I don't know. I don't feel the urgency for this to be a great pay-per-view. They haven't built it as well as I thought they, would. Because at the last pay-per-view, they already had the promos and stuff already, filmed for this pay-per-view. They had the flags and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it should be good. It should be probably it should be a 7, I would think, on the upper end of good.
Yep.
And it could be, some of these matches could bring it up to like an 8, 8.5, but it could, be a dud and be a 5, It just it depends on how some of the stuff goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my expectations high. I'm gonna put a nice solid 8 on this. That's what I think it's gonna fall. I think your Becky Lynch Natalya match is gonna be awesome. I think let's see. I think the surprise guest for Sasha, that's gonna be a good pop because I think it's gonna be Bayley. Or if it's Nia Jax too, I think that will be a good pop too. I think it'll be good. And I think Ambrose.
I think if we don't have a championship change hands like between The Miz and Darren Young or Rusev and Zack Ryder, and if the New Day Wyatt family match ends in a schmoz finish, I think it's going to mess it up a little bit. Those factors definitely could make it snooze, but we'll see, man. I'm looking forward to it. See if I can make it all the way through a Roman match.
All the way through what?
I haven't made it. A Roman Reigns match. I haven't made it through a Roman Reigns match yet this year.
Really?
It's just
that surprises me.
It's an hour pre-show and then a 3-hour show.
Oh my god, man! He said, I get it, man. I get it.
All the way through the main event, and I nod off.
Oh no, that's crazy, man! Because he's had some like really great matches with AJ. Like, oh my god, his series with AJ was incredible. So, oh man. But I get it, man. No, just it's late.
Physically looking at Roman Reigns
makes you tired. Yes. Nice. Awesome. All right, man. Well, speaking of going to sleep, let's wrap this bad boy up because we're both tired. All right. Let's see. We're going to do some plugs again, just to remind you. iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, TuneIn Radio. Go there, search ISR2M. And you're going to find our podcast, and you're going to love it, and it's going to be awesome, and you're going to listen to it. And if you don't want to go there with iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, or TuneIn Radio, if you want to do the old web browser, just go right to smarkandmark.com, type that into your browser, and you're going to get us. You're going to get our site where you can find our podcast, and you can also find other really cool things that us at somemarkandmark.com do. So we've got some cool articles that people write, such as Steven just wrote an awesome article about the origin of the term Smark and Mark. It's quite a read. It's long, but it's pretty amazing. So take a look at it, read it, like you'd read your morning paper, because it is that long. But It's awesome. So check that out. Amanda's always got some fun stuff going on there. Josh just got his NXT review up. Read that. So yeah, some really talented stuff. I know Justin's got a new mashup
Shinsuke
coming out.
Yeah.
Well, he's got Shinsuke, but I know he's got a new one coming out soon too. I can't remember if it's like Baron Corbin or somebody, but he's got a new one coming up, a new creative corner, and yeah, obviously the It's Still Real to Me podcast is there, so check us out there. Harmon, where are you on Twitter?
I'm at Harmon316.
Hell yeah, you are. I'm gonna give you a hell yeah. You guys can check me out on Twitter at Johnny Fashion. You guys can check out this very podcast out on Twitter at ISR2M podcast. Follow us there. We got some fun stuff. Follow us, on our personal accounts. Fun stuff there. Follow Smark&Mark _PW on Twitter. That's our main hub. You're going to get all of our tweets and our retweets and all that jazz, and it's going to be awesome. So with all of that, I want to say thank you guys for checking us out. Thanks for listening. Harmon, thank you for joining me on this late night. Really appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you for having me on. And I just want to give a little plug to your YouTube page. Ladies,
oh, thank you.
Do you have that special guy in your life that wants to get a wrestling box of some kind?
Yes.
Then you need to check out Johnny's YouTube page.
Yeah.
Check it out. Watch him unbox everything, and you can see that you're not going to be spending your money on a bunch of crap.
It's true.
Or maybe you are. But watch the unboxings and see who to get your box from and who not to get your box from.
That's right. Yes.
Maybe you can just go to WWE Shop and get them a bunch of $5 stuff. Because sometimes there's some really awesome stuff for $5 or less on the clearance rack.
That's true.
I have my John Cena shirts and pop vinyls that used to be $12 are now $5. And
yeah, man, it's a good bargain. Thank you for plugging that. That's great. Yeah, speaking of unboxings and crates and stuff, all that jazz, I want to give a shout out to That Wrestling Crate. They're a new crate. Their first crate coming up is this month. I haven't got it yet. Should be getting it soon, but I've done I guess I don't really know what to call it. Maybe a little consulting work. I don't know. I don't know. Did a little bit of research with them.
Yeah.
I was a consultant. Yeah, I'll add that to my resume. No, but really, really good guys. They dove kind of headfirst into the crate game. This is their first crate. They promise some pretty epic things, so I'm really looking forward to that. And when I get it, I will surely immediately do a YouTube unboxing
video. Don't
video.
call me Shirley.
You son of a bitch. I'll do a YouTube unboxing video and show you the goods. And then if you sign up, with those guys, you guys can go to, I believe it's thatwrestlingcrate.com. Don't hold me to that. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I don't want to give them the wrong plug or anything, but I believe that's what it is.
Facebook,
but yeah, you can find them on Facebook. You can find them on Twitter, all that jazz. So just look out for that video and then sign up. It's awesome. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.